Hi traders, this is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Morning Edge webinar. I want to welcome you all back. Now, let's go ahead and get started with our morning analysis with the euro dollar, and we'll start there. Okay, let me get over here. All right, so the euro, as stocks continue to bounce, that's giving the dollar a little bit of a little bit of a hop in its step, and I'll tell you the relationship that is still pretty apparent right now is that if the stock market rallies, the dollar is going to rally too. Now, that's not to say that if the stock market comes under pressure, that the dollar won't rally as risk aversion, but as the market becomes risk averse, but it could. I mean, but right now that's not the correlation that is currently in the market. So let's just kind of move some of this stuff and revisit some of these levels where I still think that let's go take that spike high here from yesterday. We're at a 50% retracement that has really held us. That's from the lows back on January 5th to the highs here, that the spike high that happened on Sunday night. Monday, is it Sunday night? On the 10th. So that spike high, I mean, we're at a 50% retracement. We're holding it this far. So that means any move down to revisit this spike low is going to hit the 618. So this should be really key support at 108. Okay, that 108 level is going to be really, really critical on the way back down. And it looks like to me that we're obviously capped at 109. So that makes our analysis pretty simple, and that also can tell you a lot about where we're at currently. What do you want to do, and what do you don't? What is it that you want to do, and what is it that you don't want to do at this point? I think the way to trade like today's market, since it's so choppy out there, 108 would be a place that you could look for longs. 109 might be a place that you look for shorts, and we happen to be smack dab in the middle right now. So shorting it up here or maybe getting on the long side down there. That's I think for today, that's probably a good opportunity. I don't know if there's much more that you really want to do right now. While we're stuck there. I mean, if you're where we're currently at, I mean, you can flip a coin and say, well, we're going up or down, and then try trading in that direction. But right now, it just seems like that we have some support at the 50% retracement. We break through that, the 108 level should give us some support. Okay. I updated my Outlook or my Office yesterday, just so you know. Finally, 108 is support, and 109 is resistance. And I think the way you might want to trade that is just kind of trade it as a range. Try to sell the 109 level and try to buy the 108, even if it's just for an intraday trade. Okay. Other than that, I don't know if there's a whole lot to do with the euro dollar at this moment. Okay. If stocks continue to improve, the dollar should continue to do well. All right, let's take a look at the cable. Now, the pound, I mean, the thing is getting rocked. I mean, we're at new lows again. Oh, wow. Just getting demolished, this cable. So, where are we going to go? I know I've been saying this all last week, and you guys, I mean, we're just talking about how weak it is. I mean, it is just so weak. And the data today, horrible, absolutely horrible. Industrial production came in 0.7%. That's almost a full, that's 3/4 of a basis point worse than expected. 0.7% worse than expected. Manufacturing production, 0.3% worse than expected. Just horrible, horrible numbers for the cable, for the UK, excuse me. So, I mean, trying to figure out where we're going to stop is, you know, it's tough. I'd like to see some sort of reversal candle before I even consider buying the pound at this point. Oops, that's not what I want to do. So the 127% extension of this last bounce on the daily chart takes us to 142. Okay, weekly chart, 142, 142.26 is right here. You know, we may have to wait till it gets to 142 to be a buyer. I mean, really. I mean, if we get to 142, I guess I'm a buyer. But it's hard for me to, you know, I have to see some sort of reversal candle to be a buyer. There's no other way. So from here, I guess we just look at round numbers. And until we take out, at this point, it's 146. It's bearish. I wouldn't short it right now, but you got to sell rallies at this point. You know, like any bounce to 145, people are going to be scrambling to get out of it. So 145, and I mean, I'm going to write down 144, but I'm not even interested in thinking about buying the cable till we get to 142. And that would be really tough for me to do, just to stand in front of it, you know. And that's just minor support at 144. I don't know if that's going to hold. I mean, it's support because it's a round number. That's it. Okay, let's go over to the Swissy. So the Swissy, you know, is, you know, it's firming up. It's trying. Let's remove that for now. We know that 618 held it up, so. Okay, so this is a 618 or close to. The highs here are 1.0025, but 1.0031 is the 618, so I'm going to write that 1.0030. I'm going to put a star there because it is a 618 retracement. Oh, where'd my colors go? Oh, I have to fix that. That's a bug in the new update. Huh. Okay. I'm not going to deal with it right now, but that's 1.0031 support. It's going to have to be the overnight low. $99.66, so $99.65. Let's go over to the dollar yen. Okay, and now let's carefully talk about the dollar yen. So, yesterday I was hoping for a rally back to 120, right? Uh, Again, one of the things that's worrying me right now is that stocks are bouncing, right? Dow's up 113 points, futures. Dollar yen is up 6 pips right now. Again, the issue is, I think, Kuroda, who again said inflation is steadily rising. Okay, so what I'm thinking is that now if we get a rally, any rally up to maybe this 118.70 level, that's where we're going to have some pretty good resistance. Currently, what's capping us is 118. So it's capping us now. But if we can just get a move, this whole area, this whole area right through here, this is all a sell zone. This whole thing right here. I know it doesn't give us much of a, I'm just this whole level, everywhere from 118 to 118.70. It's like if you can sell through there, not too sure. Ooh, George just said new lows in gold. Gold, I just looked over. Gold's getting crushed. It is. Anyway, I'm going to write down 118, but I'm going to also write down 118.70 in the dollar yen. Oops. Oh, what happened to all my colors? Huh. I lost all my colors. Ah. I don't know what happened there. All right, I'll have to look into it later. I'm not going to deal with it right now. Okay, so dollar yen 118.70. Actually, 118. Okay. Support. $117.20 is support. Okay. Dollar Canadian. So the dollar Canadian still holding above this 142 level. That downside break of the trend line yesterday didn't do anything, because what happened is crude came back under pressure and it just ripped it right back up again. 142 is support right now, obviously. Actually, I'll write down 141.90. Okay, and resistance is 142.70. And this is bullish. Oh, there my colors are working again. Wasn't that weird? Wasn't that strange? Huh. That was really weird. None of them had colors on them just a moment ago. Interesting. Okay. All right. Whatever. Let's go over to the Kiwi. All right. So here's the Kiwi. So the Kiwi, as you can see, this zone right here is still, this is a really critical zone. It was support. It's acted as great resistance. It still is. Um, um, sorry, I was just watching something. Okay. So any rally up to 65.70 to 66 cents, still it's going to be resistance for the Kiwi. And then obviously supports at 65 cents still. Okay. Um, all right, and we are still in a range. Let's go over to the Aussie. Here's your Aussie, and the Aussie dollar. All this is major support, and even that dip apparently overnight, because I didn't see this. I mean, we're still holding it. The dips are just being, just finding that support right through here. That comes in at 69.25. Resistance is 70, 30, 69, 25. It's key support, and then 70, 25, 70, 30 is resistance. And if we break through this resistance right here, that's going to give us a nice little squeeze. And remember, we have a lot of support that comes through here, a lot of support, right through here. Let me get rid of this downtrend line that's irrelevant at the moment. It has a nice hammer on the 4-hour chart. See that little hammer? Nice hammer. It's giving us some upside follow through. Is that the Swissy at new highs? Swissy's nearing its highs of the day. If you guys, if stocks continue to improve, I know some of you are shorting. How many of you are shorting the U.S. dollar Mexican peso with me? If you guys, I know a lot of you Europeans can trade it, but if you can short the euro peso, that's where you want to be on the short side. Euro peso, and I don't have the ability to trade that currency, but man, that's probably a really good short. All right, let's take a real quick look at the dollar index. This one right here. This would be a really nice little head and shoulder pattern top. If this is the euro peso, this thing clears through that area, that'd be a really, really nice Right, nice sell-off. All right, let's go over to the dollar index. All right, here's the dollar index. Huh. Hold on, let me delete this. Okay. We're at the 618 retracement right now, the dollar index. See, we're right at the 618. So that spike high at 99, 99.17 should offer good resistance. And support. I mean, key support's all the way down here, but it'll be 98.55. All right. When I come back, we're going to talk about the Norwegian krona, the Swedish krona, and the peso. And so don't go anywhere. And then we're going to talk about all the yen pairs as well. I think those are the ones that I'm more curious to see where those things are going to go, because those are the ones I really want to trade. All right, I'll be back in a few moments. Don't go anywhere. Thanks, everyone. All right, traders, this is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Morning Edge webinar. I want to welcome you all back. So let's take a look at the peso really quick. A couple of you guys are short the peso with me, or long pesos, short the dollar Mexican peso. We have obviously the 161% extension is still holding, so that's 18. Looking for a move now down to 1745. We have what could be a triple top right here. You can see right through here, right? This is the neckline right where we're at. I mean, so hopefully a move below this this support here at 1777, that should open up the downside. So look, let me ask you guys again, how many of you guys are short the US dollar Mexican peso? Looks like Rick is. That's it, just Rick. Rick is the only one who's short the dollar Mexican peso with me. That's good. Less the merrier. That's all I have to say. The less of you guys that are trading with this with me, the more chance that it has to move down. Oh, never mind. Benedict is, Adam is, Takis is, Martin is. Lyle says he's waiting. Okay. So a few of you guys are just kind of waiting on the sideline. That's fine. The more of you that wait, the better off it is for me. More for me, none for you. Just kidding. I'm just joking. But no, I actually kind of take these polls sometimes just to see where everybody's at, not because I quantify you guys as the average retail, because I don't. I feel that just wanting to know how aggressively I want to cover something, knowing if you guys are in it or not. Jay says, I just went short the peso out of spite, Blakey. Martin says, it's my best position in the book right now. Kudos, Blake Morrow. Oh, nice, Martin. I'm glad. I'm glad. So if we break through this 1775, 1760 should be an easy triple top target. So let's just make sure that lines up with something, which would be a 50% retracement, right? So that would be it at 1758. So 18 US dollar, Mexican peso. Now, you guys know I am trading counter trend here. I'm not, I don't think I've told anybody anything different. By shorting the dollar Canadian, by shorting the dollar Mexican peso, it is counter trade, counter trend trade, counter trend trade. So therefore, small positions make the most sense. 1758. I can't be aggressive here. 1758. Okay, and then 1747, obviously, and then 18. Because if it breaks through 18, it's history. We'll see 20 pesos probably pretty quick. This is bullish. It is bullish. I am trading counter trend. Let's take a look at the US dollar. Okay, there was I did not do the blog post about the US dollar Norwegian krona yesterday and crude oil. It's something that I want to do. I just haven't done it. Come on, dollar Canadian. Die, pig. Die. How many of you guys are short the dollar Canadian or long Canadian currency? Daryl is, okay. Looks like a lot of you guys are. Hamid, China, Catherine, Pedro, Nidish, Trinity, Douglas, Lorenz, Alan, Ron A, Michael, Nick, Alan S covered, Amit, Hector. Yeah, okay. So if you watch crude, okay, this is the. You know what? Let me do this. Hold on. I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna do something really quick. I'm gonna go like this: CL pound 0, right? US Canadian, USD NOK. Okay. Add. Okay. Let's go over to. I'm going to come back to the Norwegian krona. So I want to show you something that jumped out at me yesterday, and I didn't blog about it yesterday, and I was going to, and I'm probably going to do it today. Okay, so here's crude, right? This is the Canadian, almost mirror, right? Here's the Norwegian krona. Okay. Now, what you'll notice here, and I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna highlight a couple of things here. Okay. Here is the Canadian new highs, right? There's new lows. Okay. Now look at the Norwegian krona. Do you notice the difference here? Look at the Norwegian krona. Do you see how the Norwegian krona was going down as crude was going down? So that means this bounce in crude is going to lead the US dollar Norwegian krona what direction? if crude oil bounces, the U.S. dollar Norwegian krona is probably going to take a nosedive. Okay, so let's go over to the U.S. dollar Norwegian krona. Okay, you see how crude's starting to firm up? And watch this Norwegian krona. This thing has the potential to buckle. Key support will be right here. I think we need to pay very close attention. 882. This is also a strong bullish trend. So if you try to short the Norwegian krona, it is counter trend. 8.82. Okay. Resistance right now is 895. But like I said, watch crude, because if crude bounces, those are probably going to roll over. Let's go over to the Swedish krona. It's not doing anything. Even with this dollar strength, it's not doing anything. There's like no attention on the U.S. dollar Swedish krona right now. It's almost like a dead currency. Okay, but wheat. Okay, I think we're done. Here's your bias chart. So I don't know why the color started working. It's the weirdest thing.